As planned, today we are going to start with our history section, right? And in history right now, according to your syllabus, you'll be having only the first chapter, that is the French Revolution. And as I have been again and again telling you that now you need to focus on each and every word that is given in the book so that you are able to, whenever there is a question, you are able to comprehend it in the right manner. So I'm starting the chapter. When it comes to the ideas, means you may be having a question which says about the idea. Chapter 1 on the French Revolution. Today we often take the ideas of liberty, freedom and equality. Means this is the main idea of French Revolution. These are the ideas that we got from French Revolution. After this revolution, after French Revolution had spread to the other parts of Europe, the world got the ideas of what is the meaning of liberty, freedom and equality. Now by looking at the French Revolution, you will read a small part of that history. The French Revolution led to the end of monarchy in France, because if you go to the 16th or 15th century, you will find that more or less the religious institutions had more power. Then of course slowly and slowly it turned towards the aristocracy and monarchy. Today we talk about the countries having what we call as democracy or maybe a military rule. There are countries with monarchy but few in this number. A society based on privileges gave way to a new system of governance. Matlab this you can have in the assertion and reason. Means this was why this kind of revolution started. This was because there were systems of privileges. France was undergoing the system based on birth. The Declaration of the Rights of Man during the revolution announced the coming of a new time. The idea that all individuals had rights and could claim equality became the new language of politics. These notions of equality and freedom emerged as the central ideas of a new age. But in different countries, they were reinterpreted, rethought in many different ways. The anti colonial movements in India and China, Africa and South America produced ideas that were innovative and original, but they spoke in a language that gained currency only from the late 18th century. Means their way was something different. But on the other hand, they also got the inspiration from these events only. You will read about the coming of socialism in Europe. ये हम लोगों ने नहीं पढ़ना. This is all in the second one. So हमें सोवियत के बारे में नहीं पढ़ना. In the Soviet you will be reading about the socialism, equality and all. Now we are going to start with French Revolution. Right? ये जहां से स्टार्ट हो रहा है ना बेटा फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन, दिस इज एक्चुअली जब उसमें आप पेपर उसमें पढ़ोगे इन द चैप्टर, इट इज इन बिटवीन. तो ये बता रहे हैं कि हाउ एक्चुअल में किस डे को और किस इवेंट को हम लोग जो है फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन कहते हैं. On the morning of 14 July 1789, remember this is an important one. 14 July 1789 is important date. The city of Paris was in a state of alarm. Uh, 14 July 1789, mark this word. And area, Paris, mark this because this may be an important event because that is the day when the revolution, जिसको हम कहते हैं, in a violent manner took place. The king had commanded troops to move into the city, and there was a rumor that he would be asking the army to open fire upon the citizens. 7,000 men and women gathered in front of town hall. Town hall is the main area जहाँ पर आपके जो हैं राजा लोग जो हैं they normally go for the administration work is done over there. Decided to form people's militia. Now what is people's militia? Military का आपका जो है एक plural form मतलब people's military. That's not something which we are joining. It's only the gathering of the common people. They broke into number of government buildings in search of arms. क्योंकि उनको ऐसा लग रहा था कि the government is having some arms and they may use it against the common people. Finally, a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of the city and stormed the fortress prison. The Bastille is the name of the fortress prison जिसको उन्होंने जो है storm मतलब पत्थर मारे थे. They had पत्थर मारा था उन्होंने. In the where they hope to find hoarded ammunition. Hoarded मतलब छुपा हुआ. In the armed fight that followed, मतलब दोनों के पास आर्म्स थे, the commander of the Bastille was killed and the prisoners released, though they were only 7 of them. Yet Bastille was hated by all because it stood for the despotic power of the king. Despotism का मतलब हो जाता है बेटा आपका it's an tyranny मतलब brutal. डेस्पोटिक का मतलब हो जाता है ब्रूटल, ऑटोक्रेटिक, जहां पर डिक्टेटोरियल हो जाता है. द फोर्ट्रेस वॉज डिमोलिश्ड, उसको तोड़ दिया गया. एंड इट स्टोन फ्रेगमेंट्स वर सोल्ड इन द मार्केट टू ऑल दोज हु विश टू कीप अ सवेनियर ऑफ इट्स डिस्ट्रक्शन. सवेनियर मतलब उसको एक यादगार की तरह जो रखना चाहता था, उसे मार्केट में उसके जो पत्थर थे उसको बेचे गए थे. This is one of the most important events because this is the mark of French Revolution, right? This even comes as a map question. The days that followed saw more rioting both in Paris and countryside. Most people were protesting kiske against the price of bread. Much later, when historians look upon this time, they saw it as the beginning of a chain of events that led to the execution of king in France, यानी कि the spark of French Revolution. Though most people at that time did not anticipate, मतलब उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं expect किया था, but it happened. This is the storming of the Bastille. Now, why it happened? This is the background that the fortress prison was demolished. The people were anguished. So what happened? Why it was like that? Why the people were anguished? This is because in 1774, मतलब we go back, थोड़ा सा हम पीछे जाते हैं. अगर आप इससे पहले वाले बुक को देखोगे तो the storming was done on 1789 and 1774 यानी कि 15 years back if you go, you will see that the Bourbon family of the kings means it is a dynasty actually. जो Bourbons हैं, they were very famous dynasty. Later on they even ruled on Spain. So this is a dynasty, मतलब एक पूरा kingdom, एक पूरा एक what you call एक family थी. उनका जो एक prince था Louis XVI, he had ascended the throne of France and उस वक्त he was 20 years and he was married to an Austrian Princess Maria Antoinette. Upon his accession, he found that the treasure was quite empty. और उसको ना actual में क्या था कि he and his wife were spendthrift. दोनों ही खर्चालू थे. They wanted a lavish life, they wanted a lavish lifestyle, they wanted lots of shopping and everything. इसीलिए they did not have much money also. This is also an added one. Long years, सबसे पहला, the economic reasons. Long years of war had drained the financial resources of France. Secondly, it also added the cost of maintaining an extravagant court. As I said, अगर आप Palace of Versailles को देखोगे ना, even if you see on the YouTube, will find it is quite lavish. And both Louis and जो मैरी थे, दोनों बहुत ही शौकीन थे. So that was also the second reason. Under Louis XVI, France also had helped the 13 American colonies to gain independence from common enemy Britain. मतलब फ्रांस और अमेरिका दोनों के कॉमन एनिमी थे. So ये भी एक इकोनॉमिक रीजन था. This war had added a billion livres to a debt that had risen to more than 2 billion livres. उन्होंने लिया तो 1 बिलियन था, लेकिन इंटरेस्ट वगैरह लेने की वजह से वो 2 बिलियन लिवर्स में चला गया. लिवर्स इज अ करेंसी दैट वाज यूज्ड एट दैट टाइम. उसका बाद में यूज बंद हो गया था. Lenders who gave the state credit now began to charge 10% interest on loans. Can you imagine in 1800 10%? आज की डेट पर अगर 10% कोई बोलता है ना तो लोग चिल्लाते हैं. So the French government was obliged to spend an increasing percentage of its budget on interest payment alone. तो उनके पास जो पैसा आता था उसमें से आधे से ज्यादा तो वो इंटरेस्ट दे देते थे. To meet its regular expenses, cost of maintaining an army, court, running government offices, universities, they needed money, so they wanted to increase the taxes. Even this measure would not have sufficed. Sufficed मतलब sufficient. Now, ये हमारा जो second है, this is the social cause. How the society was divided. French society in the 18th century was divided into 3 estates. मतलब the citizens were put into 3 brackets. And only the members of the third estate paid the taxes. The Society of Estates was part of the feudal system that dated back to the Middle Ages. The term old regime is usually used to describe the society and institutions of France before 1789. उसको हम old type of regime कहते हैं. Regime मतलब rule. The old rule where the monarchy was having more power, उसको हम बोलते हैं. Right? So this is the system. Now feudal का मतलब हो जाता है, if we say feudal system, it is where the land holders, जिनके पास land होता है, they provide the land to the tenants और उनको जो है उसके बदले they may be given some kind of cash, मतलब सामान या money. This was the feudal system. Now, if we look into the figure 2, shows how the system of estates in French society was organized. अगर हम total population देखते हैं, 90% of the population were peasants. However, only a small number of them owned the land. They cultivated, जैसे हमने पालमपुर में पढ़ा था, that the small जो आपके laborers, small जो farmers थे वो ज़्यादा थे, लेकिन उनके पास ज़मीन कम थी. Same. About 60% of the land was owned by nobles, church and other richer members of third estate. या तो वो फर्स्ट एस्टेट और सेकेंड एस्टेट के लोग ओन करते थे, या फिर थर्ड एस्टेट में भी जो रिच पीपल होते थे वो लोग ओन करते थे. The members of the first 2 estates, that is the clergy, the people who were in the church, who had special privileges, and the nobility, the people who were having the rich lands, nobles उस जमाने में aristocrats, enjoyed certain privileges by birth. मतलब उनको तो by birth ही मिला हुआ था all these privileges. The most important of these was exemption from paying taxes to the states. They were not supposed to pay any tax. The nobles further enjoyed feudal privileges. मतलब वो लोग तो feudal system में थे, तो if the farmers worked for them, उनको जो है वो लोग उनसे भी जो है to give the land on rent to them, they would be charging the taxes. So these included feudal dues which they extracted from the peasants. Peasants were obliged to render service to the lord, to work in his field and house, to serve in the army or to participate in building roads. और इन सब के लिए they had to pay the taxes also. The church too extracted its shares of taxes which was called as tithes. टिथ्स आपके थे जो चर्च देता था, और टेल आपके थे जो कि उन लोगों को डायरेक्टली दे हैड टू डिपॉजिट इन द टू द गवर्नमेंट. फाइनली ऑल द मेंबर्स ऑफ थर्ड एस्टेट हैड टू पे टैक्स टू द स्टेट. यानी कि कुछ उनके डायरेक्ट टैक्स थे. डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस होते हैं बेटा वो टैक्सेस जिनको हम डायरेक्टली टू वी गिव टू द गवर्नमेंट. जैसे हमारे यहाँ इनकम टैक्स इज डायरेक्ट टैक्स. In our country, income tax is a direct tax. Plus the taxes that we give because we are going to the restaurant, we are for watching a movie, ये सब हमारे indirect taxes होते हैं, right? So they had to give a direct tax called tail and a number of indirect taxes which were levied on articles like salt, tobacco, the burden. Plus, if they work for the peasants or for the feudals, they had to pay. If they had to take some help from the clergy, or they had to perform some function, they had to pay some taxes to the clergy also. So they were supposed to pay taxes at all areas. The burden of financing activities of the state through taxes was borne by the third estate alone. If you see here, the poor fellow brings everything, grain, fruit, money, salad. The fat landlord said they are ready to accept. He does not even care to graze him with a look. This is how they have portrayed. The nobleman is a spider, the peasant the fly. Now, this was the economic, the social, and the political condition. The political condition is it was ruled by monarchy, and the social condition was it was divided into 3 estates, and socially they were divided on the basis of their birth. Right? Now, what further pushed them? It was the survival. The population of France rose from 23 million to 28 within a period of 50 years, 70 years, you can say. This led to a rapid increase in the demand for food grains. Production of growing grains could not keep pace with the demand. जितना grain produce होता था, demand उससे ज़्यादा थी क्योंकि population ज़्यादा और खाना कम. इसी वजह से इनको हम लोग जो है बेटा in our economics we call it as demand supply theory. In our economics we call it as demand supply theory. डिमांड सप्लाई थ्योरी होता है अगर डिमांड ज़्यादा हो और सप्लाई कम होती है तो चीज़ों के दाम बढ़ जाते हैं, एंड अगर डिमांड कम है और बहुत ज़्यादा मार्केट में रहता है तो चीज़ों की प्राइस कम हो जाता है. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डिमांड सप्लाई थ्योरी. उस वक्त में यही था, डिमांड ज़्यादा और सप्लाई कम, और इसी वजह से the price of bread which was staple diet मतलब उनका main diet of the majority rose rapidly. Most workers were employed as laborers in workshop whose owner fixed their wages, but wages did not keep pace with the rise in prices. Price बढ़ रहे थे, उनके wages नहीं बढ़ रहे थे. So the gap between the poor and the rich widened. Rich और rich हो गए, poor और poor. Things became worse when drought or hail reduced the harvest. कभी सूखा तो कभी hailstorms. Hailstorms मतलब आपके ओले बरस जाते थे. This led to subsistence crisis, something that occurred frequently in France during the old regime. और ऐसा वहां पर होता रहता था, मतलब the people were not able to fulfill their daily needs. What happened is, इसकी वजह से there were food riots, scarcity of grains, increased number of death, price of the food rise, and bodies became weaker. These were the results. Now what happened? Why the people started revolting? In the past, peasants and workers had participated in revolts against the increasing taxes and food scarcity, but they lacked the means and program to carry out full-scale measures that would bring. हाँ, वो शोर मचाते थे, आवाज उठाते थे, लेकिन उनके पास कोई भी ऐसा एक सॉलिड एविडेंस नहीं था, कोई ऐसा उनके पास सॉलिड आइडिया नहीं था जिससे ये चेंज हो जाए. This was left to those groups within Third Estate who had become prosperous and had access to education and new ideas. क्योंकि उनके पास पैसा भी था and they were also having the ideas, they were educated, so they could at least raise their voice. The 18th century witnessed this emergence of social groups termed the middle class. पहले तो यही था rich और poor. There were two groups in the earlier old regime. Either the people were extremely rich or they were poor. लेकिन जब पढ़ने लिखने लग गए, when the people started doing the business, so there was a third class which was called as middle class. These people earned their wealth through an expanding overseas trade and from the manufacture of goods such as woolen, silk textiles that were either exported or bought by rich members of society. In addition to the merchants and manufacturers, the third estate included professions as lawyers or administrative officials. All were educated and believed no group in society should be privileged by birth. अब उनके पास भी पैसा तो था. The third estate के अंदर जो creamy layer थे, they had the money, but they were not given the political freedom. They were not given the political equality. Money था तो they have to pay the tax. बस. All of them were educated. Rather, a person's social position must depend on his merit. These ideas envisaging a society based on freedom and equal laws and opportunities for all were put forward by philosophers such as John Locke and Jean Rousseau. This is again very, very important. The names of the books and the names of these writers. The Two Treatises of Government. It was written by John Locke. The Two Treatises of Government was written by John Locke. Sought to refute the doctrine of divine and absolute right of the monarch. मतलब doctrine of divine का मतलब होता है उस जमाने में माना जाता था that the monarchs are divine. They are God. They have the absolute power to rule their subjects. वो लोग इसको मना करना चाहते थे. They did not agree in such kinds of law. Roger carried the idea forward, proposing a form of government based on social contract between people and their representatives. Further, इसी बात को जो है जो जॉन लॉक ने कहा था उस बात को आगे बढ़ाते हुए रोजे ने कहा that there should be a government which should not be based on any political agenda, but it's a contract. That is people and their representatives. Third person is Montesquieu. The spirit of laws, Montesquieu proposed a division of power within the government, जिसको आज की डेट पर हम लोग कहते हैं institutions. We call it as horizontal power. हम लोग इसको federal horizontal power भी कहते हैं. The division of power within the government between legislative, executive and judiciary. This model was put into force in US and after 13 colonies had declared their independence from Britain. मतलब ये जो मॉडल था that was used by US. The American Constitution and its guarantee of individual rights was an important example for political. उनको लगा अगर अमेरिका में सबको political rights मिल रहे हैं तो why not in France? So they derived this idea from the American independence. The ideas of these philosophers, that is आपके John Locke, Rousseau, Montaigne, इन सबको जो है not everyone was able to read the books. Not everyone could, attend the meetings. But yes, in the parks, in the salons, in the coffee house, they used to share these ideas. और इस तरीके से 1 से 2, 2 से 4, 4 से 8 करके the idea spread across France. The ideas of these philosophers were discussed intensively in salons, coffee house, spread among the people through books and newspapers. These were frequently read aloud in groups for the benefit of those who could not read and write. The news that Louis XVI planned to impose further taxes to able to meet the expenses of the state generated anger and protest against the system of privileges. और यही वो चीज थी जहां से लोगों को गुस्सा और आ गया. This is one of the old regime का लिखा हुआ है, written by Young. ये जो नीचे questions हैं, these questions can come as MCQs. मतलब questions तो आपके यही रहेंगे, but they would be coming as MCQs, right? George Danton, who later became active in revolutionary politics, wrote to a friend in 1793 कि जब उसने पढ़ाई खत्म की थी, I was educated in a residential college of Plessis. There I was in the company of important men. Important men matlab those who were in the politics and all. Once my studies ended, I was left with nothing. I started looking for a post. It was impossible to find one at the law courts in Paris. The choice of a career in the army was not open to me. Why? Because I was not a noble at birth, nor I have a patron. यानी कि ना तो वो चर्च में जा सकता था और ना ही वो आर्मी में जा सकता था, बिकॉज even though he was a lawyer, he was rich, he was intelligent, yet he did not belong to the first two groups. वो पहले 2 ग्रुप्स को जो है नहीं मतलब कि बिलोंग करता था. पेट्रॉन का मतलब हो जाता है द पर्सन हु गिव्स financial aids, help. Nor did I have a patron, मतलब मेरा कोई भी godfather नहीं था जो मुझे financial help कर सके. Right? The church too could not offer me a refuge. I could not buy an office as I did not possess a sou money. My old friends turned their backs to me. The system had provided us with an education without, however, offering a field where our talents could be utilized. So they were not. An Englishman traveled through France during the young years 1787 to 89 and wrote about his journey. He who decides to be served, waited upon by slaves, ill-treated slaves at that time, must be fully aware that by doing so, he is placing his property and his life in a situation which is different that he would be in, and had he chosen the service of a free and well-treated man. And he who chooses to dine to the accompaniment of his victim's groan should not complain if during a riot his daughter gets kidnapped or his son's throat is slit. इसका मतलब ये है कि जिस आदमी ने, मतलब उस आदमी ने लिखा, आर्थर यंग ने, कि जिस आदमी ने दूसरे को गलत तरीके से ट्रीट किया, दूसरों को परेशान किया, दूसरों को स्लेव बना के रखा, उसको ये पता होना चाहिए कि अगर कल को कभी गलत दोबारा रायट होगा तो उस वक्त अगर उसका खुद का बेटा या बेटी मारी जाए तो वो शिकायत नहीं कर सकता, बिकॉज ही हिमसेल्फ वॉज पार्ट ऑफ दैट इनजस्टिस. राइट? दिस मे कम एज योर पैसेज बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. Right? Now we had read that there was a news that third estate people are going to be burdened with more taxes. Louis 16 had to increase taxes for reasons you have learned in the previous section. That is because he wanted to maintain the court. He wanted to have extravagant life. His treasure had been drained. How do you think he could have done? In France, now this is the political division of the court. The political division of the court. The monarch did not have the power to impose taxes according to his will alone. Rather, he had to call a meeting of estate general. मतलब उसके नीचे काम करते थे estate generals, which would then pass his proposals for new taxes. जैसे हमारे यहाँ लोकसभा या राज्यसभा होता है, वैसे स्टेट जनरल होते थे. लेकिन हम में और उनमें फर्क क्या था? हमारे यहाँ जो लोकसभा है, दे आर चूजन बाय द मेंबर्स ऑफ द कॉमन पीपल, और वहां का जो स्टेट जनरल था, दे वर अपॉइंटेड मेंबर्स ऑफ द प्रिविलेज सोसाइटी. द स्टेट जनरल वाज अ political body to which the three estates sent their representatives. However, the monarch alone could decide when to call a meeting of this body. The last time was 1614. उसके बाद सीधा आपका जो है 170 years के बाद हुआ था. On 5th May, Louis XVI called together an assembly of the Estates General. A resplendent hall in Versailles, beautiful, was prepared to host the delegates. The first and second estate sent 300 representatives who were seated in rows facing each other on two sides, ऐसे आमने सामने. While the third estate 600 members, क्योंकि उसमें population ज़्यादा था तो उनके representatives ज़्यादा थे. The third estate was represented by its more prosperous and educated members. मतलब जो members होते थे वो होते थे जो rich होते थे या फिर educated होते थे. Peasants, artisan, women, इनको no. However, their grievances and demands were written in 40,000 letters which the representatives had brought with them. उनके साथ में थे. Voting in the estate general in the past, उनका था according to the principle that each estate had one vote. Now you can imagine 300 people from first, 300 from second and 600 from the third estate. यानी कि 300 के लिए भी एक वोट और 600 के लिए भी एक वोट. That is not actually equal. This time too, Louis was determined to continue the same practice, but the members of third estate demanded that the voting now be conducted by the assembly as a whole, where each member would have one vote. यानी कि अगर 1200 people are there, 300 from first estate, 300 from second and 600, so all of them should have one vote each, not three votes. This one was the democratic principles put forward by the philosophers. जो social contract में लिखा था वो उस principle को follow करना चाहते थे. The king rejected this proposal, so the members walked out of the assembly in protest.